From the outside, the Love Has Won group looked like another fringe online spirituality movement. But behind closed doors, followers believed their leader wasn't just enlightened. She was a 19-billion-year-old divine being sent to save humanity, and as her health declined, their devotion only grew stronger. What unfolded next is one of the most unsettling modern cult stories. A charismatic leader losing her grip on reality, a group drifting deeper into delusion, and a death so disturbing that even seasoned investigators were stunned. How did this happen? And why did so many intelligent people follow her to the very end? G'day. Today we will discuss the case of Amy Carlson and the Love Has Won cult, and what we can learn from the psychology, manipulation, and unravelling of a group that believed their leader was a 19-billion-year-old deity. This story is strange, tragic, and deeply revealing about how destructive belief systems form and why people fall into them. How does an ordinary woman go from managing a McDonald's to convincing followers she created the universe? And why did her devotion to her own mythology ultimately lead to her death? Just a disclaimer. All commentary, theories, and analysis presented in this video are for informational and entertainment purposes only. Opinions shared are speculative and are not intended to accuse, harm, defame, or misrepresent any person, group, or organisation. And finally, if you enjoy the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Background. Amy Carlson was born on November 30th, 1975, near Wichita, Kansas. Her childhood blended academic potential with emotional instability. After her parents separated, she lived between two households. Her mother's remarriage and move to Oklahoma City altered family dynamics again, leaving Amy navigating shifting roles and expectations. Teachers described her as intelligent and promising, but outside the classroom she gravitated toward fantastical ideas, cosmic missions, starships, and metaphysical concepts long before she entered adulthood. These weren't harmless interests. They marked the beginning of a worldview where reality bent easily around her desires. By her early 20s, Amy's personal life was already chaotic. She married 3 times and had a child with each husband. She held steady employment as a McDonald's manager in Houston. But the corporate ladder, structured, predictable, and grounded in reality, was not enough for someone who craved significance on a cosmic scale. Around age 30, Amy fell deeply into New Age forums and esoteric online communities. These digital spaces provided not just companionship, but validation. Her ideas weren't dismissed. They were encouraged. Her belief that she possessed a higher spiritual purpose found fertile ground. Her connection with a man named Robert became the spark for her transformation. He told her she was divine. Amy didn't resist the idea. She embraced it with absolute certainty. Timeline: Becoming Mother God. Around 2006, Amy adopted the title Mother God. In December 2007, she abandoned her children, relationships, and job and travelled to Colorado to live with Robert. Together, they crafted a belief system originally known as the Galactic Federation of Light. As their mythology expanded, they rebranded as Love Has Won, presenting themselves as spiritual saviours tasked with guiding humanity into a higher state of consciousness. By 2009, they were uploading videos to YouTube. The content was rambling, energetic, and drenched in claims of cosmic battles and ascension timelines. Robert became Father God, and every new romantic partner of Amy's inherited the title. Between 2014 and 2020, the group drifted across multiple states. They attracted followers primarily through live streams, hours-long sessions filled with spiritual jargon, promises of healing, and Amy's shifting explanations of her divine mission. Their first major follower was Miguel Lamboy, who became the group's financier and administrator. Around this time, the cult began monetizing every aspect of its belief system, selling colloidal silver, crystals, supplements, and a service called etheric surgery, claimed to remove low vibrational energies from the body for $88 a session. The group's messaging played heavily on fear and salvation. Earth was dying, humanity was asleep, and only Mother God could save them. One key reason followers stayed was the sense of purpose Love Has Won offered. Members described feeling chosen, awakened, and spiritually elite. Many were in vulnerable periods of life, including breakups, trauma, illness, financial hardship, and social isolation, and the group exploited these vulnerabilities with precision. In 2018, a new man named Jason became the final Father God. The group settled in Crestone, Colorado, an area known for its mix of spiritual communities, which gave them both cover and legitimacy. By this point, Amy rarely appeared on camera. Followers explained her absence by claiming her energy field had become too powerful, suggesting that low-vibration viewers could explode if they saw her in human form. This narrative conveniently hid how rapidly her health was declining. Growing tensions and the Hawaii crisis. In August 2020, Love Has Won moved to Hawaii. Local residents immediately protested, arguing the group was disrespecting Hawaiian spirituality and misusing sacred cultural concepts. Tensions escalated into vandalism and confrontations. Homes were pelted with eggs and rocks, windows were smashed, police presence was minimal, and the situation grew volatile enough that the town's mayor personally brokered an exit deal. The group left in a hurry, frightened, exhausted, and more isolated from society than ever. They returned to Colorado, but the Hawaii ordeal deepened their belief that they were being persecuted for their sacred mission. Amy's physical deterioration became impossible to ignore. Witnesses reported her skin turning blue or grey. This is likely due to her consumption of colloidal silver. Severe weight loss and mobility issues so extreme that followers carried her from room to room. She claimed to have advanced cancer and paralysis, explaining her condition as the physical burden of absorbing humanity's negative forces. The more ill she became, the more spiritually significant she insisted it was. The cult reinforced her beliefs not out of malice, but because they were deeply invested in the narrative that she was chosen, eternal, and indestructible. Death and discovery. In April 2021, Amy told the group she was ordered by Galactics to travel to Oregon. They complied, transporting her to a hotel in Ashland. It was the last time anyone outside the inner circle saw her alive. According to several members, Amy died on April 16, 2021. Instead of calling authorities, the group reframed her death as ascension. They drove her body back to Colorado, treating it as if it were an artifact of divine transition. On April 28, 2021, Miguel Lamboy contacted the police. He claimed he discovered Amy's body in his home without permission. Deputies found her corpse mummified, wrapped in Christmas lights, placed in a sleeping bag, and surrounded by a shrine. Glitter covered her eye sockets. 7 members were arrested for abuse of a corpse and child endangerment, though charges were later dismissed. Her autopsy revealed the cause of death: anorexia, alcohol abuse, and heavy ingestion of colloidal silver. There was no evidence of homicide. Her death was the direct result of her own beliefs, decisions, and substance use. Aftermath and survivor psychology. Some former followers distanced themselves after the scandal, publicly expressing regret and confusion. Others doubled down, insisting Amy had indeed ascended into a higher dimension. 2 members formed a splinter group called 5D Full Disclosure, continuing the same teachings under different branding and creating something they called the New Earth Transitory Government, claiming they were conduits for interdimensional beings guiding humanity's evolution. This is a common psychological pattern in cult collapses. When the charismatic leader dies, members typically experience one of 2 outcomes. Either their worldview collapses, along with their identity, or they create new explanations to preserve the belief system they invested in. Accepting the truth means admitting they were deceived emotionally, financially, and spiritually. For many, that level of confrontation is too painful, making denial easier than acceptance. Psychological analysis. Amy's mythology as identity construction. Amy's cosmic identity served multiple psychological purposes. It fed her grandiosity by placing her at the centre of the universe's origin story. It justified her entitlement by positioning her as an entity above ordinary rules. It provided escape from personal limitations and painful realities. And it offered her control because each new follower reinforced her narrative and magnified her significance. Her spiritual mythology filled every gap in her life, including instability, addiction, loneliness, insecurity, and the need for admiration. Why followers believed her. People join cults during periods of vulnerability, including identity crises, financial instability, social isolation, chronic illness, emotional trauma, or a desire for purpose. Love Has Won provided belonging, structure, spiritual superiority, simple explanations for complex problems, and the belief that followers were chosen for a cosmic mission. Doubt was reframed as low vibration, making questioning a sign of spiritual weakness. This self-contained system made belief easier than skepticism. Methods of manipulation. Amy maintained control through sleep deprivation, emotional shaming, us versus them narratives, fear of catastrophic consequences if she died, and promises of ascension and divine purpose. These techniques created a closed psychological loop where Amy's authority could not be questioned. Amy's personality and decline. Amy exhibited traits across several personality patterns, including grandiosity, entitlement, impulsivity, attention-seeking behavior, paranoia, manipulativeness, emotional volatility, and magical thinking. She leaned on her followers to uphold her delusions, and her addiction escalated her decline rapidly. Her choices, her delusions, and the feedback loop of reinforcement from followers created the conditions that ultimately killed her. Final thoughts. Amy Carlson's death was the outcome of a combination of addiction, self-starvation disguised as spiritual purification, toxic ingestion of colloidal silver, the reinforcement of her delusions by followers, and a complete absence of medical intervention. Her story demonstrates how dangerous unchecked belief systems can become when they merge with charisma, dependency, and psychological vulnerability. Those are my thoughts on the case of Amy Carlson and the Love Has Won cult. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and feel free to comment any case you'd like me to cover in the future. I hope you found this breakdown informative. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. Thank you for your time, and I will see you again on the next one.